Hello everyone and welcome back to Chess with MNM. Today I brought to you the game 3 of the finals of Clutch Chess Online Tournament on lichess.org between the world champion Magnus Carlsen and the challenger of the world champion of 2018 World Championship Tournament, Fabiano Caruana. So yeah, these are the players and we are now in the finals, so let's check out what happened in this game. Carlsen with the white pieces and Fabiano Caruana with the black pieces. Carlsen opened this game by d4, queen's pawn opening, knight to f6 by Caruana, and now bishop to f4. And they call on this opening this London system, and it's an easy and a beautiful opening for the beginners. Also, it's one of the most favored openings for Carlsen. Okay, d5 played by Caruana and now e3. And the idea by this opening is play knight to f3 so knight to f3 and then bishop to d3, c3, knight b to d2, bringing the queen into the c2 with a pressure on the h7 square, or with a pressure on the king side, and then pushing h4, g5, h5, g5, and makes an attack and making an attack on the king side. And it's a beautiful opening and strong opening for the white. e3 played and now c5 hitting the center. Knight to f3, knight to c6 developing the knights, and now knight b to d2. And here Caruana played knight to h5, attacking the bishop on the f4. And Carlsen here at this position played the best move, and it is d capture on c5. With an idea that if you capture on the f4, and this is what happened in the game, I will capture by the pawn capture on f4. Now if you play something like e6 attacking the pawn, then I have knight to b3, protecting the pawn, and the white here will try to not give the black the pawn, because here the white is up a pawn. Okay, so here after e capture on f4, Caruana simply played the queen to a5, pinning the knight, so you cannot play something like knight to b3 to protect the pawn, and also attacking the pawn on the c5. uh, Bishop to d3, simply developing the bishop, and now queen capture on c5, taking back the pawn. Castling here, Carlsen castled, and now g6. I want to develop my bishop into this diagonal, and then I want to castle. Knight to b3, attacking the queen. Queen back to d6, moving away from the threat with an attack on the f4 square. Queen to d2, protecting that square, also connecting the rocks, and now bishop to g7, preparing to castling, developing the bishop, also attacking the b2 square. c3, not all preventing bishop capture on b2, and now simply Caruana castle. Rook f2 e1, developing the rook on the semi-open e file with a pressure on the e7 square. Bishop to g4 played by Caruana. The idea here, I want to capture on the f3 to destroy your king side. So for this reason here, Carlsen played queen to e3. If you capture on the f3, I will recapture by the queen. And that's what happened. Bishop capture, queen capture. And Caruana here gave the bishop pair advantage. Because, I mean, here, if you play anything like rook to c8 example, then I have h3. And now where you will put this bishop? I mean, there is no useful diagonal for your bishop. So for this reason here, Caruana simply gave his bishop to Carlsen. Bishop capture on f3, queen capture on f3 with a pressure on the d5 square. So here simply e6 supporting the d5 square. h4 now. I want to push h5. I want to destroy your king side. I want to make an attack on your king. So here simply Caruana pushed h5. Please don't push h4 or don't push h5 or something like that. Here Carlsen played g3. All the pawns protecting each other. Rook f2 e8, preparing to e5, and now rook a to d1, with an idea that if you push e5, then I have bishop to c4. Okay, bishop to c4, attacking the d5 pawn twice, and sorry, triple. And here if you play something like e4, trying to attacking my queen, simply I will move my queen back to g2, and then in the next move I will capture your d5 pawn. So for this reason here, where here, after rook a to d1, Caruana played a6. a6, I want to play b5. By b5, now if I played e5, you don't have bishop to c5, because I simply can capture it by the b pawn, not by the d pawn. Okay, so after a6, here Carlsen played knight to back to d2, and now b5 by Caruana. And here Carlsen played a beautiful move. Here the agent says that e5 sorry, was the best move at this position, and Caruana had to play this move, because here if you play e5 and after pawn capture, knight capture, look at this position. The knight here is so strong on the e5 square. Also the file opened by the rook, and the blackest pieces now is more active. Okay, but here Caruana missed that, and he played b5. Not all of this bishop to come on the c4, but the problem here that this bishop Even here, if you play e5, you cannot play something like bishop to c4 because now there is a rook, there is a knight in front of the rook, so you can capture on this square, okay? So for this season here, after b5, Carlsen here played a beautiful move, and so beautiful move, and probably Caruana missed that move, and it is knight to e4. Now, the idea here that if you capture my knight, I will capture by the bishop with an attack on your queen and also with a double attack on your knight. And the problem here that if you move your queen away, example queen back to c7, then bishop capture on c6 comes with an attack on the rooks, and then you'll lose the exchange in the next move. So for this reason here, after knight to e4, Caruana moved this queen back. He did not capture, and he moved this queen back to d7. And now knight to g5. Knight to g5 bringing the knight into the king side. Also developing, also you cannot push something like f6 because simply you'll lose your e6 pawn. Rook a to d8, bringing the other rook into the game. Bishop back to c2 played by Carlsen, opening the file for the rook. And now simply b4 by Caruana. And b4 wasn't the best move at this position. Here, the engine says that Caruana had to play e5. I mean e5, if you capture, then I will recapture by the knight, attacking the queen, developing the knight, opening the file for the rook. And if you push something like f5, then I have e4, grabbing more space on the center, also attacking the queen. And also if you capture, then I will recapture by the pawn, and there is nothing to worry about. And now the diagonal closed on this what they call it on this bishop. And the idea here that if you capture by the bishop, example, then I can simply capture by the pawn, because if you capture my queen, I will capture your queen, okay? I mean, Caruana missed that idea, and here Caruana simply played b4 with an idea that attacking the c3 square twice. Here Carlsen said, okay, I'm not interested about that, queen to bishop to a4, because as you attacking him twice, I'm protecting him twice, okay? Bishop to a4, the best move at this position, pinning the knight, putting a pressure on it, and pinning the knight because there is a queen behind it. And also here, the engine says here that bishop capture on g7 was a beautiful move. The idea here that if you capture by the pawn, then queen to d3 will be a strong move. Attacking on the g6 square and also putting a pressure on the e6 square. And the best move here, playing knight back to e7, and then rook capture on e6 comes. After rook capture on e6, here if you play anything like rook to c8, then f5 comes. f5 with a triple attack on that on the g6 square, and if you capture by the pawn, then queen back to f3 comes with an attack on the h5 square, and then he says that the white here has a nice advantage. But Carlsen missed that idea, and however that bishop capture on g7 g6 wasn't the best move, and the best move here was bishop to a4, okay? Bishop to a4, okay? Bishop to a4 played, and now b capture on c3, b capture on c3, and now here comes the blunder. Fabiano Caruana at this position blundered a big blunder. I mean, it's not an easy position, and it's not, how can I say it, it's not, I mean, here Caruana played queen back to c8, queen back to c8, and try here to find why this move was a blunder. Pause the video for a couple of seconds and try to find what Carlsen played at this position. If you found the move, congratulations, you are so good player. If you didn't find the move, no problem, you are a good player too. The move which Carlsen played and the move which Caruana missed, and it's not an easy move, especially when you're playing a rapid game, and it is f5. f5, so strong move by Carlsen. The idea here that you cannot capture by the e pawn, e capture on f5, because rook capture on e8 will be deadly. After rook capture on e8, now queen to d5 comes. Queen to d5 attacking the knight, also attacking the pawn on the f7 square. How you'll prevent this two threats? And also here, if you play something like knight to e5, protecting the pawn, also moving away from the threat, then bishop capture on e8 comes, and by this the white will be up an exchange, and also he has a strong passed pawn on the c file, and this position is such a winning for the white. So for this reason here, after f5 you cannot capture by the e pawn. Caruana here captured by the g pawn, g capture on f5, and the idea here is weakening the h pawn to capture it, and then to attack this king on the g8. And here, before playing queen capture on h5, Carlsen played c4, the best move at this position, with an idea that if you capture on the c4, then simply I will capture. and I will win your knight. So you cannot capture on the c4, and if you play knight to d4, and this is what happened in the game. Here Carlsen played rook capture on d4 simply because giving the rook, because simply the Caruana's rook is under attack too. Bishop capture on d4, bishop capture on e8, rook capture on e8, and now queen capture on h5. The threat is queen to h7 check, and then queen capture on f7 checkmate. So for this season here, queen to c7 played by Caruana, defending the f7 square, and now c capture on d5, simply winning a pawns. Rook to e7, bringing the pieces into the 7th rank to push f6 to protect, to defend the king or something like that. D capture on e6 played by Carlsen, keep winning the pawns, and now f6 attacking the knight, also opening the road for the black's pieces to defend his king. Queen to g6 played, check, king to f8, and now simply knight back to f3 attacking the bishop. Bishop to c3, rook to c1 pinning the bishop, of course bishop to b3 attack, c3 attacking the rook, rook to c1 pinning the bishop because there is a queen behind it, and now simply rook capture on e6 trying to take back his pawns. Here Carlsen played knight to d4, knight to d4 attacking the rook, attacking the pawn on the f5, rook to b6 by Caruana, and here Carlsen finished this game by beautiful maneuver. Pause the video for a couple of seconds and try to find what Carlsen played at this position. It's not too hard move, but it's a beautiful move. Carlsen here simply played queen to h6 check, king to g8 simply, and now queen back to e3. Queen back to e3 with a double attack on the c3 square, and the problem here that you cannot move this bishop because there is a queen behind it. So it was at this position that Fabiano Caruana simply resigned the game. And here, if you capture on the d4, saying, okay, I will capture on the d4, and if you capture on the c7, then I will capture on the e3. But the problem here, that move doesn't work because simply after bishop capture on d4, queen to e8, I mean, you will be deadly. After king to g8, king to g7 solely, rook capture on c7 will win. The queen also will win the game because here king to h6 is only move, and now queen to h8 check, king to g7, king to g6, sorry, and now queen to h7 will be a checkmate. So for this season here, bishop capture on d4 doesn't work, and you cannot protect him by the rook because the knight controlling the c6 square, and also the pawn controlling the b3 square. So for this season here, it was at this position that Caruana designed the game. So yeah, this is the game. Hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video or the game, please don't forget to smash the like and subscribe. Also, you can check out my previous videos, and see you in the next videos.